Hello everyone, I'm Ed Daly and I live in the Staffordshire-Moorlands. I'm a facilitator in the advisory group to the National Down Syndrome Policy Group, the NDSPG. I joined the advisory group at the beginning of 2022 as I wanted to change the fact that too many of us with Down syndrome don't get the support and opportunities we need from our local authorities, health authorities, schools and colleges to enable us to reach our full potential. We're the first UK group run by people with Down syndrome to inform policy and help legislators and government bodies such as yourselves to serve their communities. We are one of the first such groups in the world. We've participated in every step of the Down Syndrome Act, from lobbying for its passage through Parliament to facilitating focus groups so that dozens of people with Down syndrome participated in the call for evidence to help inform the Department of Health and Social Care in writing the Act's guidance. I was a facilitator at the face-to-face meetings with civil servants in Westminster and in Leeds during the consultation period. It was hard for many of us to share our bad experiences with services, but we hope that by sharing our stories, we will help bring about the much needed change. On World Down Syndrome Day last year, I gave a podium speech in the Terrace Pavilion at the Houses of Parliament. And 2 days later, I was one of 10 members of the advisory group who took part in a roundtable meeting in 10 Downing Street with the Under Secretary of State, Maria Caulfield, followed by a debate on Down syndrome in the House of Commons. My MP for the Staffordshire-Moorlands, Karen Bradley, and the MP for Stoke-on-Trent Central, Joe Gideon, both spoke out in support of the Act and need for change. As we get closer now to the publication of the Act's guidance, I'd like to tell you about an event last November, the Down Syndrome Act Symposium. It was hosted jointly by the Department of Health and Social Care and the NDSPG. Both Karen Webb and Ben Richards from the Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent ICB attended the meeting in London. I spoke with my colleague and chair of the advisory group to the ICB Leeds. It was a very positive event and we came away feeling really upbeat about the strength of government support for the implementation of the Down Syndrome Act 2022. It meant a lot to us that Dr. Liam Fox opened the session with a video address from the Middle East and that both the new Secretary of State Victoria Atkins and the Under Secretary Maria Caulfield made time to call by to address everyone in person. It was well attended by ICB Leeds from across the country and was a great opportunity for sharing current good practice, raising concerns and for networking. Our main message to the ICB Leeds was to set out what we want and what the ICB Leeds can do to help us. As we see it, the ICB Leeds have a really big role to play in ensuring that everyone working in health, social care, education, employment and housing start to change that, and we want to help them. We said to the ICBs to include people with Down syndrome in what they're doing. We need systems to be simplified so that we can access them. We need decisions to be made with us, otherwise it won't work. I have recently been appointed Down Syndrome Forum co-chair with Karen Webb for the Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent Integrated Care Board. One of my colleagues and the founding officer of the advisory group is also the co-chair of the Working in Partnership Learning Disability Board in Coventry and Wolverhampton ICS. We hope to hear that all ICBs are creating similar Down syndrome impact groups. We want every ICB to be committed to the Act, so no one with Down syndrome is left out. One speaker at the symposium, whose teenage daughter has a dual diagnosis of Down syndrome and autism, also said that everyone with Down syndrome was to be included. We are researching ways to better include people who cannot read or speak, because everyone who wants to deserves to be represented. And from the meeting, it seemed accepted that getting numbers and data on people with Down syndrome for each region is a requisite starting point. Finally, we explained that we want the ICB leads to learn from us, help train their staff so they know when and how best to help us. We want to see trained Down syndrome aware professionals across the whole country. We can empower ICB leads, educate them so that they can help us to maximise our potential and change our futures. We want two-way communication between us. We need to tell them what they are doing to make our lives better. And if we have any problems, we need a simple means of contacting them direct for help. We extended an offer to partner with the ICB leads. We highlighted that we will need help to figure out how to cover our costs and those of our supporters. We expect to be paid just like everyone else. I've been very fortunate to have my mum as a dedicated support for everything that I've needed or wanted to do throughout my life. People with Down syndrome need help in some shape or form in most aspects of their lives. The success of us co-producing new processes and making decisions together will depend on the quality of support that is available to us all. I hope to speak to you again with an update on the publication of the draft Down Syndrome Act guidance. In the meantime, thank you for listening, and let's all start now, working together in readiness for the implementation of the Act. We must ensure that all people with Down syndrome in Staffordshire and Stoke-on-Trent are properly understood and provided for, and are not subjected to wrong or life-limiting decisions by the relevant authorities. If anyone within the region is keen to get involved, please get in touch with Karen Webb